This is a very story-heavy game, so this review may contain spoilers. Detroit Become Human is an amazing experience. It is extremely narrative driven. Unfortunately, the gameplay doesn't do the story justice. You will play as three main protagonists. Connor is a new prototype detective-style android who is my personal favorite. Kara is a housekeeper in an abusive household and was Amanda's favorite storyline. And then you have Marcus, who cares for a wealthy painter who treats him more like a son than a servant. Connor definitely has the most interesting gameplay loop. As a detective, you will find yourself investigating different locations and interrogating deviant androids. If you don't find all of the evidence, or if you don't get enough information out of a deviant before it self-destructs, you could have consequences later on in the story. Those consequences can happen in the next chapter or even 8 chapters down the line and affect one of the other characters. The 3 different branching storylines definitely add to the whole experience. You can go from solving a crime as Connor to washing dishes as Kara or running errands as Marcus. The switching of characters keeps up the pacing of the game extremely well. I never felt bored playing, and I always wanted to keep going to see if I made any wrong decisions. And oh god, the decisions here really make this game special. Now, like any other game, there is just the illusion of choice, but Detroit Become Human pulls it off very well. While playing, there were very few situations where I couldn't do something that I thought of. It truly felt like I could make any decision. Now, that isn't true, but it is definitely executed better than any Telltale game I have ever played. Earlier, I mentioned the gameplay being lackluster, and unfortunately, that is just a common side effect of these very narrative-driven games. You will find yourself performing little quick-time events over and over and over and over and over, and I think you get the point. Sometimes it will be in an incredibly cinematic fistfight, and other times it will be you washing dishes. I feel you could remove nearly half of the QTEs and the experience would be nearly identical. If you fail one of the QuickTime events, it's not just an instant game over like other games. The story will adapt, and it can lead to interesting things still happening. There is also a sense of stress and urgency during the QTEs due to the fact that any one of the main characters can die, so you really don't want to be messing up. At the end of each chapter, you are presented with a flowchart showing every interaction and decision you could have made. It's really interesting to see later in the game when there are entire branching storylines grayed out due to you not making the correct choice in an earlier chapter. It also gets your mind going and itching to do another playthrough to see everything that the game has to offer. Probably my biggest gripe here is the dialogue system. You will have a variety of speech options which are mapped to the face buttons on the controller. The issue here is that it struggles with the same thing that Fallout 4 struggles with. The speech choices are so vague you will hardly ever know what your characters are going to actually say. You may think you're going to say something positive, but your character will say something completely negative, and it can make your relationships deteriorate with the side characters. I would have really liked to have seen what the characters will say so you could make correct choices. Now, I just feel like I have to mention the graphics. This is really one of the best looking PC games I have ever seen. I played it in ultra settings and 1440p, and the futuristic city of Detroit is beautifully created, and I often found myself just stopping to look at the surroundings. Another honorable mention here, it's not in my script, but I just have to mention the music. It sets the tone perfectly. Seriously, go find the soundtrack, listen to it. Detroit Become Human is easily an 8 out of 10, and it has earned a spot on the InputSource must-play list. Beautiful graphics, beautiful music, and tons of replayability. You need to go play this game right now. Thank you for watching our review of Detroit Become Human. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and maybe consider subscribing. We are constantly working on more videos just like this one. If you want to keep up with us outside of YouTube, you can follow us over on Twitter. All of the links will be in the description down below. Thank you for watching InputSource. We will see you in the next video.
And I want a car. When I'm outside the city, I'll let her go.